Ever since it was announced, bullet drop has been the hot topic in the community. Some claim the game is ruined, and others are saying that it's just what we need for immersion. Well, now it's here. Let's take a quick look at what it is and what determines the weapon's stat for bullet drop, and how big of an impact is that actually going to have on our game. First off, what is it? Bullet drop simulates the effect of gravity on a bullet as it travels over time, meaning the longer a bullet travels, the further down below where you're aiming it's going to hit. To hit your mark, you must compensate for this by aiming upwards. But does that create a problem here? In Hunt, you're usually aiming down sights on your rifle. You're going to need to adjust for that. That means you're going to need to point the tip of your rifle high enough so that you're not even going to see your target. Or at least this has been part of the voiced concern. The merit to that concern depends entirely on the rate of the drop. So let's see what determines that drop. The new weapon statistic that has been added is called drop range. This stat indicates the distance at which you must aim above a hunter's head before you would miss your headshot. Technically, it will drop a little bit in that distance, but it's very minor. Beyond that range, you're going to have to aim up above the head proportionately to the distance and the rate of bullet drop. This is determined by a variety of factors, including barrel length, action type, the ammo used, and the muzzle velocity. These factors work together to determine the drop, but that seems pretty complicated for the single number we're given in the stats. So I'm going to break it down for you. But first, I should mention that this video is intended to be a high-level overview of bullet drop. I plan on doing a robust breakdown of bullet drop later. If you want to join in on the research for that, come join us in the Hunt Lab Discord as we dig into the topic. Alright, first is barrel length. It's pretty straightforward. The longer the barrel, the less the drop. 3-slot rifles have less drop than 2-slot shorties, or 1-slot pistols. Simple enough. For example, the Ranger Shorty is going to have more bullet drop than the Ranger. Or when looking at pistols, the Scotfield's base has a drop range of 70 meters. But the Scotfield Spitfire, that one, has a slightly shorter barrel and has a drop range of 65 meters. That's not a big difference, but it is there. Next is the type of action the gun has. The action controls how you get the bullet into the weapon. Basically, it's the mechanism that loads a new round. The tighter and more secure the action, the less drop. So, here you want less moving parts with a more secure enclosure. For example, single-shot weapons shine here, like the Sparks. Less effective weapons would be something with a revolver drum or even a lever-action rifle that fails to tightly secure the projectile. Bullet velocity is the next element, and it's not that this makes bullet drop less for the gun, but more so that the bullet travels further before it gets the chance to drop because the bullet is moving at a faster speed. Then we have the ammo that's used. This one is the part that's probably going to ruffle the most feathers. Keep in mind that the system put in place is there to assist with balance and not intended to directly mirror reality. So I guess tough luck if your immersion is broken by this. Compact ammo drops the least, then medium, then comes long ammo, which has the fastest drop. This helps create balance and have players choose either damage or accuracy at range. Especially since headshots are one shot at any range now, some people may choose to go for the less damaging compact ammo to avoid dealing with drop. It's important to note that drop speed is consistent within an ammo size, but the velocity impacts how far it travels as it drops. So a gun with slower velocity will feel like it's dropping faster. In addition to the caliber of the ammo, you have the custom ammo type. Ammo types like FMJ, Dum Dum, and Explosive will drop faster, while High Velocity and Spitzer are going to have less drop. Here's a quick comparison using the Centennial at about 200 meters. We have it with FMJ ammo, standard ammo, and then High Velocity. Even at that range, the drop compensation is minimal with High Velocity and standard ammo. And yes, headshots are going to be harder, but it's definitely manageable. What it will do is encourage you to learn your ranges more if you're a dedicated sniper. but that's really only needed over 160 meters, which if you don't have a sniper, is a pretty good shot. If you're having a hard time getting the feel for your drop range, consider practicing with incendiary rounds. These produce a bright trail while traveling and explode on impact, making it easy to identify where they land. Incendiary ammo has the same velocity and drop range as standard ammo, so it's a good baseline to build your game sense off of. Then, once you have a good sense of that, adjust it up or down accordingly if you have high velocity or slower ammo like FMJ or Dum Dum. Each weapon has its own drop range. So if you're looking to learn sniping, you're probably best off to pick one until compensating for drop range for that weapon comes naturally. Then after that, you can learn other snipers as needed. Now, how much of an effect will this have on the game? Honestly, probably less than I originally expected. I think 5 and 6 star players are going to feel it more than others, but mostly it helps encourage players to use their weapons within intended ranges. In general, you're not hitting headshots out of 165 meters without a scope anyways. Now you have the guarantee of downing the hunter when you do, so it's not all bad news. The upside is that now there's a reason to use all 3 weapon sizes at ranges: compact, medium, and long. If, like me, you find yourself really bad at estimating distance in-game, there's a solution for you. The Spyglass tool now displays the distance when you ping. Start bringing this in games and intentionally pinging things to get a good game sense built of different ranges. In particular, 65 meters, 100 meters, 150 meters, and 200 meters would be the most important distances to have a great feel for. Most pistols' drop ranges come in at around 65 meters, which is a decent distance as long as you're using your pistol within a compound. The drop is not really going to be felt. On the other hand, I feel like shotgun players who bring a backup uppercut are most certainly going to feel the drop. It's not going to be like it's a rifle replacement anymore, but it brings in another great balancing lever to create diversity in weapons and loadouts. I encourage you to spend some time in the shooting range to get the hang of bullet drop, and you'll probably find it quite manageable. And if you're new to Hunt, try out this next video. In it, I take a brand new hunter and teach them the ropes of how to survive in the bayou.